All right, I finally figured out how to make this thing work. So we're going to draw on the screen and we're going to label some of these notes. Now, let's just figure out some beat values. So the whole note we know is worth 4 beats, like that. We know that the quarter note is worth 1 beat. The eighth note is worth about half a beat, like that. And the half note is worth 2 beats. All right, and that's what we learned in the previous lessons there. So now we're going to figure out how to actually count these things. So let me erase this real quick. And we're going to learn about counting. So I'll talk about time signatures later. Let's just count to 4, and when you get to 4, you start over. Just like the keys on the piano, it starts over. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that means we start over at 1. That's only worth half of a beat though, because it's the eighth note. All right, so instead of saying 1/2, let's just say and for the other part of that. So we're going to say and then we can go to 2, 3, and then same thing here. We're going to say 4, and then not 4/2, but 4 and, like that. All right, now we start over at 1. And that's a big, long one. It's worth all the way to 4 points. So, you know, we just kind of hold that one out and we start over again at 1. Notice how the bar line, that's what that is right there. The bar line tells us when we start over at 1. So 1, not 2/2, but 2 and 3. Okay? Now I'm going to quickly label the bottom line and I'm going to show you what we do about the rest over there. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, keep going. Rests also have a beat value, so you still write it in, but you wouldn't necessarily perform the rest. You're supposed to not do anything on the rest. So tell you what, I'm going to change color. We're going to label it 1, but we're going to label it red so that we know not to count it. All right, now let's go back to green. So 2, not 2/2, but 2 and, 3 and. There's another rest right there. It would be on beat 4, so I'm going to put it in red. That way we remember not to say it. Then we go back here, and 1 and 2, 3. Sorry if that's a little bit sloppy. Okay, so now that we've got them all labeled, let's see if we can count them. So I'm going to run the metronome down here. It's going to keep time for us, and we're going to count our way through this. We count the same way you would clap. You do it in time. So like this. 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. 1, 2 and 3. Just like that. If you want, you can hold out the whole note and the half note. Sometimes instead of just saying 1, you should hold it out and say 1, and then you remember that you don't speak immediately after you do it. Let's try the top line again. Try this with me. See if you can count along. We'll start after 4 clicks of the metronome. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. 1, 2 and 3. And that's it. That's the top line there. Now, your job is to go figure out the bottom line. So for this assignment, I want you to count out the bottom line, and you can do it by clapping, or you can speak it like we just did the top line. But yeah, I need to hear one of those two things. Perform the bottom line.